Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, bringing you all of the latest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. With a greater focus and emphasis on our first responders and our fire department as of late, many high school students have been expressing a deep interest in understanding the inner workings of Greater West Bloomfield. The West Bloomfield Fire Department offers students a peek behind the curtain with their West Bloomfield Fire Club, showing students the many tools and techniques the department uses to protect the Greater West Bloomfield community. I stopped by one of their recent meetings to hear from some of the students as to why this club piqued their interest.
Well, I was interested in going to the paramedic field and the firefighting field after I graduate, so this was just a nice opportunity to get some of the skills before I head to paramedic school and just get a little bit of practice and knowledge so I know what I'm headed in for.
And what have been some of the biggest things you've learned as a part of this club so far?
Some things I've learned here, I've learned a bunch of good knots, I've learned a bunch of moving tactics like how to move people, I've learned a lot more first aid stuff like basic life saving, and I learned a little bit of fire behavior.
Well, I've learned a lot about what I can have at my house to be precautionary against emergencies, and ways in my house that I should be thinking about if there is a fire, what can cause it, where I should be worrying about, how I should be making sure my furniture is accessible to people coming in case of a fire. If it's easier to get in and out, and just being prepared.
And especially working closely with the West Bloomfield Fire Department and all these incredible firefighters, what is it like to gain this expertise and to gain this knowledge from some of our first responders firsthand?
It's really fun because they're all really fun people, and we do a lot of fun things, and they make learning about it really interesting and don't make it seem like, oh, this is obvious or things like that. It makes it really interesting, and they help encourage me doing it, because I did think about it last year, but I know that I can't commit to that. It's a lot of work, and I really respect them for being able to commit to this life and do the work. And it's nice to meet them and understand who these people actually are, so that when there is an emergency, I'm not scared to talk to the people, and it makes it make them more human and less oh my gosh, it's like a firefighter.
It was a thing last year, and now it's a thing this year. I hope it continues because, honestly, you can learn a lot of good skills on basic life-saving, basic first aid, basic, staying calm in a stressful situation. It's great to do some hands-on work instead of just, being talked at. It's great to get some hands-on experience and learning and practicing those skills.
It's amazing to see an interest in what our first responders do to protect the Greater West Bloomfield community, and an interest in these kids who might even become firefighters themselves one day. But this is such a great club, and it's great to be seeing it having so much of an impact throughout Greater West Bloomfield. As we enter the month of April, more and more flowers and plants are starting to come into bloom everywhere you look in the community. At West Bloomfield High School, the teens have been working on a one-of-a-kind garden combining literacy with environmental advocacy. I stopped by one of their meetings recently to learn about this literary garden and what it truly provides.
So the literary garden is a one-of-a-kind in the nation. It's the only one like it. Each flower in the garden is relating to an author that either we read in the school or it's important to people. A lot of the times we get into contact with the authors or their families to ask what kind of flower they would want in the garden. And so it's a great way to connect the history of the arts into gardening in the art courtyards.
Oh, so you have worked with some of the artists or some of the authors themselves, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Earlier this year, we actually had Kate Chopin's great-granddaughter come in and meet with some of our classes because they've read some of her books. She's written The Awakening, which our AP Literature class reads, and her great-granddaughter came in and talked about her family history and was able to actually choose a flower that we planted in there.
It makes you just want to know more about how it connects to their story, why they liked these plants, why they had them. So I think it's personally I've seen these authors in this garden, and I've wanted to know more. I've wanted to know more about each and every one of them.
The implementation of this garden has not only fostered a love of reading throughout these kids, but has also helped them to develop a newfound appreciation for the outdoors.
It's really nice to have a community of people who are interested in sustainability and those same environmental factors, because it's something that I'm really passionate about and that I want other people to be passionate about, because I believe that, sustainability and being a part of a community is just really important, especially for the planet. And it's really cool to see how many people are getting involved and getting interested in this club and with sustainability overall.
Jennifer Tynan, the sponsor of the West Bloomfield Gardening Club, spoke with me about what she hopes kids appreciate about seeing this garden and working together to make something beautiful.
The garden is about joy, it's about connection, it's about the importance of our environment, it's about the importance of connecting other human beings in the pursuit of a shared goal. It's about caring for the environment around us, whether that's nature, whether that's the environment in our classroom, no matter where we are, connecting with each other, connecting for the spaces that we're in. It's just helped me to grow and to keep learning and to keep stretching, and I think modeling that for the kids is important, and finding joy and not knowing, being okay not knowing. And I think that that's all you can do.
So many things are coming into bloom this spring season, and it's amazing to see the dedication from these kids in creating something truly beautiful within West Bloomfield High School. And I can't wait to see this garden a couple months down the line when everything is truly in bloom and available for everybody in the community to see. The Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition will soon be under the guidance of new leadership. It was announced recently that Kristen Schoenbeck will become the new director of the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition, stepping into a key leadership role within the organization. She succeeds longtime director Lisa Berkey, who leaves behind a strong legacy of community engagement, prevention programming, and coalition building efforts. Kristen's leadership marks a new chapter for the organization with an emphasis on building upon existing programs while exploring innovative approaches to community wellness. And here to give us some insight is the woman herself, Kristen Schoenbeck. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks. Thank you for having me, Jake. I appreciate it.
Of course. First off, congratulations on your brand new role. What does being named director of the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition mean to you personally and professionally?
It's an honor, honestly. As you mentioned, Lisa Berkey is an amazing leader. She has built this program and connected with so many people in the West Bloomfield community. And I get to stand on her shoulders and continue the great work in the community and with students, seniors, all different ages in prevention efforts. And I'm all for it.
We love that, and we're very curious to see what you're going to be bringing to this new position. What inspired you to step into this leadership position at this point in your career?
Good question. I have a management background. I've done events, I've done fundraising. I've worked in the nonprofit sector for 15 years. I've worked in the profit sector for 6 or 8 years. I've done lots of different things, and this position pulls together all of those pieces for me. But the piece that I care the most about is that it does good. It's doing good in the community. It's helping other people. I'm at an age in my life where I want to do good. I want significance in impacting others for good things. And this job gives me that opportunity, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
And it's great to hear of how much this means to you and how it's inspiring you going forward. What is your overall vision for the Community Coalition as we move forward?
Jake, as I said, Lisa has an incredible coalition. I'm super impressed with the work she's already done. She's in all of the schools. She's in the public schools, private schools. She's in the adult senior center. We're all over the place, teaching parents, teaching all different ages, all different groups. So that is in place, and I'm fortunate to be able to step right into that. The things I would like to add personally, I would love to get students involved. I'd love some student groups, some youth action boards, both in the middle school and the high school levels. I'd love to get some experiential learning events in place as well. That's my background. I've done some big events. I'd love to work with the community in creating science-based solutions for social and big words, social and emotional learning problems that we're addressing in the community. I'd love to build some big events around that as well. I think the biggest thing now for me is getting kids involved and hearing their voices and giving them a place to speak out into the things they're experiencing and how to solve it.
That's great, and it's amazing that you're providing all of these opportunities for kids and students throughout the community. Why is it so important to be showcasing these opportunities and to be providing these opportunities for the younger generations in Greater West Bloomfield?
The students in the West Bloomfield School District just finished a MiFi test. And as we're still working through those numbers, but what I do know from the MiFi test we had 2 years ago is that 30 to 45% of kids are struggling for over 2 weeks at a time in their life, feeling depressed. And of that, there's a very small percentage, but still a percentage of kids that are considering suicide and even have action plans for that. So when I hear those numbers, my heart goes out to these kids. I think that the community, the Greater West Bloomfield community is an incredible community, and they care about their students and they care about mental wellness in a way that many other school districts and communities don't. And so I want to be a part of that solution for these kids. I want I want them to have a voice. I want them to have authority in the decision making of what we need for the kids and for the schools. But I want to, as I said, do good. I want to help kids that are struggling, that might not have another place to talk about it.
I love that, Kristen, and I love hearing that passion in your voice of what you're really hoping to provide for the people of Greater West Bloomfield. That's what we want to hear, especially as you're stepping into this brand new role. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Kristen Schoenbeck, who's going to be becoming the new director of the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition, taking the position over from Lisa Berkey. Now, Kristen, you were just talking about helping the mental health of some of the younger generations in Greater West Bloomfield. Would you say that's one of the biggest challenges currently facing the Greater West Bloomfield community right now that you're looking to address, among some other things?
Oh, absolutely. With the influence of social media, everybody has a cell phone in their back pocket. Social bullying, cyberbullying, all the different things that are happening are it's a new world. It's a new world from when my kids were like high school age. My kids are older now, and we didn't have to, as parents, we didn't have to deal with any of that stuff. Didn't exist. And so the many different ways that people can hurt other people, hurt people, we need to address, and we need to be on top of it. And I want to be a leader in that for the community. I want to bring the education. I want to bring the programs. I want to bring the experiential learning to the kids so they stay engaged and they don't just blow it off like, oh, here we have to sit through another educator teaching us something. No, I want them involved so that it's something that they're hearing from their peers. That has way more significance to a high schooler than me standing up there and telling them, by the way, don't vape. So there's definitely a need. It's growing in all communities, not just West Bloomfield, Greater West Bloomfield. And I want to be a part of the solution.
That's great, and that's amazing to hear of everything you're looking to do with this new position. And with this new position, it also means getting involved with the community a bit more, talking to people, talking with community members, everyday people walking down the street. How are you looking to have these personal connections with the community, with the members, everywhere you look in Greater West Bloomfield?
Yeah, again, I'm super fortunate to have Lisa Berkey in my back pocket. She's super connected, and we have spent 2 months meeting with people daily, people that she knows and people she's already networked with. I want to continue to build that. It's, Greater West Bloomfield's a big area. And between the township government, the Parks and Rec, the police department, the fire department, it goes on and on. The connections of people and groups and businesses and nonprofits that want to come alongside and connect with the community. But I have a long way to go. There's still a lot of people out there, and I'd love to connect with and talk with everybody else. That's a lot.
And I'm sure they can't wait to have those conversations with you, Kristen. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. People are going to be looking to you. They're going to want to get involved with the coalition's mission. They're going to want to get involved in any way that they can. How can community members help support the coalition's mission under your leadership?
Well, one of the other things that I really want to do is I want to develop a volunteer team. People that are about what we do. They want to help protect kids and seniors, everyone in the community from every type of issue out there when it comes to drugs, vaping, marijuana, social and emotional learning, all the things that are affecting the community. I would love to develop a volunteer team of people that want to jump in and also feed into what we do here, give me ideas and steer the ship with me. So I'm open to anyone anywhere that wants to jump in and be a part of the volunteer team. Yeah, love that.
And I love that too. And April is National Volunteer Month, so something like this is coming at the perfect time. I'm sure so many people are going to want to get involved with the coalition. Kristen, last question before we wrap things up. We're looking ahead a little bit. We're looking down the line. Once you've settled into your position as director, what would success look like for you in this role a year from now?
It's a good question, Jake. I think success for me will be having really great student action boards. I really want to get those kids in, and I want to hear from them. I want to know them. I want relationship with them. So that's a big deal to me. That will be one. Two, I'd love to throw some incredibly great, big, huge, fun, social, emotional learning event, whether it's a field day or whether it's something with Parks and Rec. I don't know. There's a gazillion groups out there that I'd love to connect with and work with. So something like that would be important to me, not just because it gets our name out there. That's not what it's about for me necessarily. It's about working with the community and creating something that's beneficial. So yeah, those would probably be the two big things. And of course, a volunteer team.
So many great things to look forward to within the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's an exciting time throughout Greater West Bloomfield as Kristen is going to be settling into her new role as director, as we thank her for all the work that she's going to be doing, and we thank the work of Lisa Berkey for everything she's done for Greater West Bloomfield as well. It's going to be a very exciting next few months in the community. The Oakland Schools Insider is a new vodcast created by Oakland Schools and serves as a platform to showcase compelling stories, spotlighting the people, programs, and initiatives driving meaningful student success all across Oakland County and the broader Michigan education landscape. The vodcast emphasizes forward-thinking practices and creative approaches being implemented in schools, giving visibility to innovative programs that are shaping modern learning experiences. Oakland Schools Superintendent Kenneth Gutman is the host of this vodcast, and he joined us on The Splash recently to tell us what listeners can expect. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, and good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well. I mean, this is such a great project that's being unveiled that everyone can enjoy. I'm going to get right into it. What inspired the creation of the Oakland Schools Insider, and what gap were you hoping it would fill?
So we actually started this because of a staff survey that highlighted our clear desire to increase the visibility of what we do here at Oakland Schools and broaden some stakeholder awareness. This insider was created in direct response to the feedback we received, and now we have a dedicated platform to share and celebrate the impactful work happening across Oakland County and also throughout all of our local districts.
And that's great that you're showcasing all of these different stories and different ways of storytelling to all of these people, everyone who's going to be listening to this vodcast. Why is storytelling such an important tool when it comes to education today?
Well, we know powerful stories are unfolding in our classrooms across the county every day, yet many go untold. Stories are told about public schools, but we don't always tell our own story. So we now have a chance to highlight and celebrate the achievements of our students, of our educators in meaningful ways. And so through this, we're elevating voices and experiences and continuing to focus on showcasing student achievement.
That's great. And I'm sure with something like this, there's going to be a wide array of guests that you're going to have on, individuals. What can you tell me about who, like the kinds of people that you're going to be having on the Oakland Schools Insider, and how do you decide which stories, programs, or individuals to feature in each episode?
Yeah, thank you for that. I try to stay out of who we're featuring. I let our communications team handle all of that heavy lift, and they work from an editorial calendar. And we consult with our district teams and tech campus staff so we know what's happening across the county. We'll interview students, interview superintendents, teachers. We'll do it here in our studio at Oakland Schools, and we'll also get out to local districts. We just want to really show off all of the great things happening here in the county.
That's right, getting out there, seeing everything up close, everything that makes the Oakland School District as amazing as it is. And I'm sure with something like this, there's a very intricate production process when it comes to putting something like this together. Walk us through the production process for something like this, from idea all the way to the final product.
And once again, yeah, I can share with you the process. I try to stay out of it and show up at the end. And we really have great people on our communications team who do the heavy lift, but they review their editorial calendar, story submission ideas. They secure guests, coordinate schedules. They begin the scripting, and then there's post-production editing, which takes, a little bit longer. Each episode, I'm told, takes about 3 weeks from the beginning to the end.
Wow, 3 weeks, but all of that work is going somewhere, and it really shows in the final product, like that everything is coming together for this incredible vodcast. Now, how has this vodcast influenced awareness or perception of Oakland schools and its programs?
Well, we're only filming our 3rd episode this week, so it's early, but we don't really know the impact yet. But our first episode was well received, a number of views on YouTube, which was a strong start for a vodcast format. We do think we enjoy some respect across the county, and we're trying to increase awareness of what ISDs do. We do anticipate that we'll enhance the awareness through this and try to reinforce a positive perception of not just Oakland schools, but what's happening across the county in classrooms and schools.
For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Oakland School Superintendent Kenneth Gutman about the brand new Oakland Schools vodcast series, the Oakland Schools Insider, which is going to be interviewing teachers, students, everyone from all throughout the Oakland School District to get a better sense of what is going on within the schools and to be communicating throughout the entire district. Now, I do want to talk about, because I mean, again, this is still very early on, so we do have to see a few more episodes, but I am curious, what ways does the vodcast support student engagement and pride within the district?
Yeah, that's another outstanding question. This vodcast really is an opportunity for us to highlight students from our technical campus and throughout our districts. We had someone on our 2nd episode, a student who grew a 1,000-pound pumpkin. I mean, these are really intriguing stories. I find it fascinating. It's great to have a platform where we really can elevate our student voices. So we'll be out throughout the county. We'll be here in our building highlighting our students. Ideally, our students will become more engaged through this, or at the very least, will share their engagement in the educational process.
Yeah, you always want to hear stories like that. Did you say 1,000-pound pumpkin? Did I hear that right?
1,000-pound pumpkin. You need to check out episode 2. Incredible.
Wow.
Next year, I understand he wants to grow a 2,000-pound pumpkin.
Man, those are the great pumpkins that Linus has been talking about for years with Charlie Brown. I mean, that is incredible. Those are the stories we want to hear and we want to showcase. Now, Kenneth, as superintendent, along with being the host, you're also superintendent, of course. How does hosting this vodcast shape or reflect your leadership approach?
Yeah, so it really has to do with being out in the community, being visible. A superintendent who sits in his office or her office all day gets a filtered message, doesn't connect with what's happening in the field. So getting to connect with students and staff and parents throughout the county keeps me grounded. There's a transparency to it. There's an openness. There's a vulnerability. And ultimately, there's an opportunity to show what great education we provide here in Oakland County. So for me, it's really about getting out into the field, talking to people, and more importantly, listening to their story.
That's right. Hearing those stories, talking to people, getting to know them, and showcasing everything you can with the Oakland Schools Insider. Now, we've seen Oakland County implementing something like this. Do you possibly see this model being replicated in other regions or other educational systems, maybe taking a page out of Oakland County's book?
Well, we'd like to have some success first,
of course.
But it's certainly possible. I mean, the education community does recognize the importance of telling stories, and whether it's a vodcast or another platform, any effort to highlight and share meaningful stories of student achievement, we fully support and would be happy to take part in with our local district or others who'd like to replicate this.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and we want to see this vodcast go on for quite a long time. Kenneth, what is your long-term vision for the Oakland Schools Insider, maybe over the next 3 or 4 years?
Well, we know it will evolve as we receive feedback on it. We'll certainly reach out to the field and see how it's being received. but I'd like to see it continue to evolve in ways that are creative, that are fast-paced, that are compelling. And again, we keep the focus on students, student achievement, and great instruction throughout our county, and great leadership. We'd like to showcase all of our great leaders throughout the county as well.
Of course, staying with those core values and those core principles that make this vodcast what it is. Kenneth, it's been great talking to you. I got one more question before we wrap things up. Can you give us maybe a little bit of insight on maybe the next couple installments of the Oakland Schools Insider, of what people can expect?
Well, we're going to continue to talk to people in the field. I'm going to interview tomorrow for our episode 3, Sherry Collins, who's our communications person, and talk to her a little bit about the Insider as well. We'll get a little behind the scenes peek. And in the future, I'll be interviewing a local superintendent in episode 4, and then more great stories about students to come.
Awesome. Can't wait to see these stories. Can't wait to see all the great storytelling opportunities that there are within the Oakland School District. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Always a pleasure to be on The Splash. Thanks for having me.
So many innovative and enlightening conversations are soon to be had with the Oakland Schools Insider. It's a wonderful new addition and availability for the greater West Bloomfield community and the Oakland Schools community to listen to. So we appreciate Kenneth Gutman for taking the time to talk with us here on The Splash Live. With springtime back in the air, the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society is making the move outside for their historic Spring Nature Walk, a welcoming, family-friendly spring nature walk designed to celebrate the arrival of warmer weather in the community and to gain some insight into local ecology. Held at the scenic Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary on April 26th, a peaceful 50-acre natural space. And joining us to tell us more about this fun spring walk is Carol Fink of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Carol, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, and couldn't have said that intro better myself. You did a great job, Jake.
Thank you. Always love having you on, Carol. Always love hearing about these great things the Historical Society is doing to bring in new members to the community, to get them to see a little bit on what's outside their windows. What makes the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary such a special place to host this annual spring walk?
Well, first of all, being local, very easy to get to. Our parking lot's not the best, so it's a little challenging because our parking lot is small for the amount of people that come visit. But one of the very amazing things is that we have so many different ecosystems, from vernal pond to pine trees to hardwood to a prairie bordered by 2 lakes. So we have every type of nature available to look at and enjoy.
Sounds lovely. It sounds like a very peaceful day for the members of the community to experience. And what can participants expect to see and experience during this guided tour?
Well, there's 3 guide words I have: stop, look, listen, and smell. Maybe 4 guidelines, because that's the beauty of being in the woods. And, you know, I want to start by saying, in our very troubled and stressful times, to come out and be in nature, just being there. There's an expression that says, don't just do something, be. And they can expect a feeling of peacefulness, joy, harmony, relaxation, and it's beautiful, and it's early spring.
That's right. It's always beautiful. And you're right, especially as even here in Greater West Bloomfield, as we've gone through some difficult recent times, it's nice to have that nice little mental reset, going outside, taking in the wonderful spring air, the beautiful scenery. It just relaxes you. Even just thinking about it already is making me feel very relaxed. And why is spring such an important and exciting time to explore these local ecosystems?
Well, when you come out in early spring, to me, every season is totally exciting. But early spring, even though the leaves aren't out on the trees, if you look closely and you'll see the buds, you look down at the earth, you go under the litter bed of leaves. There is so much growing and happening in the spring woods right now. So look, feel, the woods smell really good, the smell of dirt, and things starting to grow. It's a time of watching and enjoying. Be there.
It absolutely is. And I'd imagine on this walk, there's going to be a lot of different sites to see. What are some of the early plant or animal species people might spot on this nature walk?
All right, well, we'll start with, the woods tell a major story, and it tells us by first seeing animal prints. And right now there's lots of deer print, mice print, um, chipmunks, signs of woodpeckers by the holes in the trees. We have a family of pileated woodpeckers that are out there, and you can hear them. There's so much to see right now. So lots of birds. There's been an eagle that, since we border two lakes, there's a bald eagle that flies around. And if you're looking for him, the pileated woodpecker, I'd say look up, look down, and look all around. Something everywhere to look and listen.
I love that. Look up, look down, look all around. There's always something to see, and that's definitely what's going to get a lot of people out here to experience springtime and to experience these wondrous things right here in Greater West Bloomfield. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Carol Fink of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, who's previewing the historic Spring Nature Walk coming up with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society on April 26th. Now, Carol, this walk has been going on for quite a few years now, and we've seen people have probably stopped by every single year to check this out. What about somebody who's never attended before? Why would you encourage them to come out? What would you tell them to try to get them to come out?
I would say just come. I would like to add that we love all types of animals. However, we recommend or ask or plead that you leave your dogs at home because it is a very sacred, safe sanctuary for our wildlife. And even though your pet may be well behaved and the smartest dog ever, they're also animals, so they get excited. So there are dog-friendly parks and walking trails, other places. So please leave your pets at home for that. And one thing I want to add, Jake, is I think our date is April 26th. Mm-hmm. Please don't wait for the 26th. Come out to the woods every day. Go out today. It's a little cloudy and rainy, but that is a fantastic time to be in the woods. Don't wait for nature. Go be in it right now. It's beautiful out. And what I would recommend is certainly dress appropriately. I don't recommend wearing sandals or Crocs because those are easy trippers. Wear some good sturdy field shoes. Dress for the weather. I always bring water. I always bring snacks. That's a long story, but just come out and enjoy. You might want to bring some peaceful nature books to read. I also recommend leave the phone in your car or turn it off because you want to You want to untap from the real world and get into the other real world where you are a part of nature, not apart from nature. It's just a beautiful place. It's a sanctuary. And please treat it very respectfully. Recommend that you stay on the trails. We have a nice collection of wildflowers, and we also have a lot of poison ivy. So I recommend you stay on the trails, but make sure you look around. Touch the trees, look at them, smell things. There's really not much in the woods that is going to hurt you. Just know what poison ivy looks like. That can make you itch. Good food for birds, though.
You're absolutely right. Unplug from the world and immerse yourself in nature and make sure that you are prepared. Michigan weather can always change with the snap of a finger, so you never know what to expect. And yes, absolutely, check out this sanctuary any chance you possibly can. How does the sanctuary play a role in local conservation and education efforts all year round?
Oh, that's an excellent question. One, I wanted to send out a note of respect for the West Bloomfield High School and their literary garden. What a fantastic idea that was shown a little earlier. It's respect for nature. It's respect for all living things. It's calmness and compassion and stewardship for our world. So whenever I'm out there or any other naturalist or school teacher or scout group, it's good to talk about how we can best protect and preserve nature because got to start with the kids and work our way up. We can't lose this incredible resource. At one time, this was going to be a major subdivision. Ooh, I shudder at the thought. But it's a beautiful sanctuary and come out every season. And another thing, I have so many things. It's the full moon either last night or tonight or tomorrow night. If you haven't had a chance to go out in the woods, and I think our park closes at dusk, but walk in your neighborhood, sit out on your deck, dress warmly, because the full moon is still there. It's just sometimes hidden by the clouds. So that the lunar energy is very, very powerful right now. So enjoy it. Go outside.
That's right. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy it every chance you possibly can, because we want to see this stuff stick around, and we want to see these people enjoying everything that they possibly can. Carol, I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Out of everything that there possibly is with this nature walk, what do you hope is the biggest thing participants take away from their time at the sanctuary?
The difference between feeling stressed and wound up so tight to how it feels to unwind and relax and be in the peaceful, healing beauty of nature. So take that away. You don't have to know every plant and animal in the woods, but you do need to come and walk. Maybe bring a sketch pad, maybe just a new awareness of the texture of the trees, the shape of the upcoming leaves, the smells. Take away joy. Bring joy with you.
And we hope to see everybody taking away joy once they experience this wonderful trip with the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Carol, last question. Are there any other upcoming events or opportunities for the community to engage with nature like this?
There's a lot of them. We are partnering with Parks and Rec, and we're doing a kayak trip. I don't have all the details because I'm not very good at that, but we'll be kayaking up and around Orchard Lake and Apple Island. We've got some other really exciting things. I checked your newsletter. How's that sound? Call the society. I'm so busy outside, I forget what I'm doing.
Always keep your eyes open and always stay alert as to what's going on in the community. There's going to be some beautiful things to see in the coming months. Carol, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. Thanks for hooking me up on this machine.
Of course.
Have a great day.
You as well. The Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary is where good things happen, and there's going to be a great nature walk coming up in just a few short weeks on April 26th. We appreciate Carol for taking the time to talk with us here on the Splash Live. Coming up in April, an annual tea will be hosted by the Global Michigan Women's Chamber of Commerce on April 18th, which offers an elegant and welcoming space for women across the community to connect, collaborate, and celebrate. Set against the refined backdrop of the Pine Lake Country Club, the event blends sophistication with meaningful conversation and networking. Deborah Spring, the COO of the Global Michigan Women's Chamber of Commerce, joined us on the Splash Live recently to tell us more. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Hi there. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Great to have you with us. Really love hearing about events like this. This seems like a fun event right in Orchard Lake for the women of the community to enjoy. What inspired the creation of the annual tea, and how has it evolved over the years?
Well, our organization, Global Alliance Solutions Foundation, was established to support refugees, human trafficking, and women. And through that program, we established the Women's Initiative so that we did really support women in business, women coming into this country. And our founder and CEO, Dr. Zena Salem, wanted to do more for women. And so we started, or she started actually, the Women's Chamber, the Global Michigan Women's Chamber. And in that chamber, our hopes are to really bring women together to work together, to support one another, support businesses, to do outreach and mentorship. So our first event was a ladies' tea. And the very first one we did focused on human trafficking. And the women who attended were just amazed and shocked somewhat by the material that we were sharing. We had someone join us who had been trafficked in the past, and they wanted more. They told us what they wanted, and we took our time, worked on it, and had our second tea last year. And this year, our tea also continues to focus on important areas of women business, and delivering education, as well as provocative speakers that people could really relate to. So this tea, again, it's a relaxing environment. It's a time to talk, to network, we have women businesses there as vendors, and We have an amazing speaker, Immaculée, who was from Rwanda. She was a survivor of the genocide there, to speak to us. We have the mayor of Detroit coming to speak to us. And then we have a panel of women who will share their experiences, their successes, and their challenges in business. And again, it's just a wow factor with the event. It's a great event. It's beautiful. It's elegant. We really want it to be a relaxing environment for them. We want the participants to be there, to be present, to be engaged, and to really just experience being together, sharing, and networking.
Wow, way more with this event than I originally thought. I mean, some great relaxing opportunities, but also some very important conversations to be had with this event. I mean, it sounds like there's really something for everybody. And Deborah, why is it important to create spaces specifically designed to support and empower women?
Well, when you look historically, really wasn't too long ago that women finally got to vote and open a bank account and stuff. And so we really need to support each other. And I think women do. I think they want to be there for each other. They're natural caregivers. And so this gives them the opportunity to have that deeper connection, mutual respect for each other. It's a safe place for them to talk and discuss, to promote gender equality. We empower women. And we want to foster a community of building and working together.
That's great, and those are all amazing things we want to see all throughout the greater West Bloomfield community and within your own organization, Deborah. Those are all amazing things. What role does mentorship play within your organization, and especially events like this?
Mentorship is extremely important because it inspires women. It's especially, when we get our speakers up there who share their challenges and the opportunities they had and the struggles and then how they got through it. It's just amazing. And it helps to encourage those who may be having ideas that they want to open a business or they want to do something inspiring in their lives. We also want to make sure that we are working to develop future leaders, right, and have professional and personal development and support them in doing that. We certainly want people of all ages. We work with our high school graduates. We have student members, and we want retirees to come because they can certainly help with the mentorship and, just really show that support for one another.
Yeah, and that's great. And you were just talking about how you want all of these different kinds of people to attend this incredible event. How are you ensuring inclusivity and representation across many different backgrounds and industries for this annual tea?
Well, our outreach intentionally seeks all women, all nationalities, all businesses, all service-oriented people, all those looking for a sense of belonging, willing to mentor and support one another. And the goal is to really expand beyond Michigan and beyond the United States through shared ventures abroad, to see other women in business and the way they do business and to link across the world. So again, we want to be that support for the women. We want to be able to encourage them. We want to provide that sort of a structured relationship, but also open to everything and ideas and support from one another. We want our members to bring us ideas to see what they would like to see happen and bring new ideas and really think outside the box sometimes, as we say, so that women are really focusing on what's needed in business. We have the older generation that can bring a sense of the histories and what happened and how to conduct things. And we have the newer generations who are much better with social media and all the nuances of the, interactions. And so we want everybody there so that we can work together and continue to move forward and grow.
I love hearing everything you're saying, Deborah, and it's great that you're providing these opportunities to share these stories and to give these women a chance to connect and to bond over so many different things. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with the COO of the Global Michigan Women's Chamber of Commerce, Deborah Spring, talking about their annual tea that's going to be taking place on April 18th at the Pine Lake Country Club. So that's coming up very, very soon. And you said that this event's been going on for a few years now. I'd imagine imagine that there's probably going to be some people who've stopped by previous events that are coming to this one again. What if people had to say to you about what this event stands for, represents, and how they feel?
I call it the wow factor. We create a wonderful environment, outstanding presentation, and women supporting women. Women who attended last year said, make sure you invite me next year. I really enjoyed this. I pampered myself a little bit. I felt really appreciated. It made me feel stronger. And so they all asked to make sure we invited them back, and most of them are returning. And we're just so happy to see them do that. We want women to feel special at this event. Our CEO goes way out of her way to make sure when you walk into that room, you just feel like you're in a brand new place. And it just inspires you just from walking in. And then, of course, the caliber of the speakers that we provide, and just the whole environment to feel safe, feel comfortable, feel welcome, and enjoy yourself for a day. Pamper yourself a little bit and enjoy everything that we're going to offer.
I love it, and I hope everyone has those feelings as they stop by this event, take it all in, and to form those very meaningful connections. Deborah, I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Out of everything, above all else, what is the most important thing you hope attendees take away from this experience, both personally and professionally?
Knowing that they really can do whatever they set out to do. They have to have the right mindset. That it's okay to ask for help, because that's what we're here for. We were here to help one another. And success is different for everyone. And so know what your success is, know what your inspiration are, so you can create that picture of your success. And always remember to give back. Encourage others and be inspirational, provide that guidance and be willing to give a hand up and help people up the ladder.
Tell people that you're there to help, and you are there to help them through both the good times and the hard times. I mean, that's one of the most important things. Deborah, where can people go to gain a little bit more information about this annual tea and how to get involved?
You can call either of our workers on this, 248-730-2551, or you can go to info@myglobalmichigan.org.
All right, that's how to get involved, and I'm sure that everyone, because we're wanting to get as many people out to this event as possible, I'm sure everyone's going to be stopping by and having such a great time. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for inviting us, and we hope women will continue to inspire women and support one another.
Once again, the Global Michigan Women's Chamber of Commerce annual tea will be taking place on April 18th at the Pine Lake Country Club. That's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.